Hey, what's up everybody? This is the Lazy Farmer, and I'm coming to you with another Run 8 tutorial. Nothing fancy, no splash screen, no nothing like that. This is just another tutorial of how I'm configuring my virtual model railroad. And that's how I treat Run 8. It's my virtual model railroad. Today I walked down into my virtual basement and decided that I wanted to kind of configure some industries so that I have cars that are going to move back and forth on the maps. So, and to give you that kind of map overview, I'm going to take a look, and we're going to look at the dispatcher screen here. And where I'm at is not here. Let's see, where did I go? I am, as I circle through, I was down in San Bernardino. Where'd it go? Oh, Palmdale. Nope. I need to go down here. Okay, this is where I'm at. Yep, San Bernardino area. So I'm actually here. The train we were looking at is right here around Vermont, and this is the San Bernardino subdivision yard. And we're going to work between this area and where I'm at just to show you what we can do as far as keeping cars on the map. And you saw it, and I actually cycled through a lot of the dispatcher screens. And so that's what we have control of here. If you have, depending on how many subdivision DLCs that you've purchased. I have all of the Southern California from going central to Southern California. It goes from Fresno down to San Bernardino, Long Beach areas. And goes as far east as Sullivan, Nevada, and that's the entire southern subdivision of Burlington Northern and Union Pacific. So anyway, am I an expert at this? Absolutely not. I'm not an expert at anything, to be honest with you. So I have this train that I actually made up, and I'm going to show you the process of how I did this and why I did this. So first thing I want to do is I want to turn some of the signposts and things on. We're going to do that by left shift F8, and you can see up there in the upper left hand corner that milepost tags are now on. Left control F8 twice will actually put the tags above the cars, and then right control F8 will turn the industry tags on. And I'm going to jump up here with left shift F12. And then hold down the shift and hit the E button. I go into fly mode. So we can look down. So we can look down onto our train here, and the industry tag is right there in the red, the BLC. And I want to show you what I'm doing here with this particular industry. Now, the industry, if we do left control I, it brings up the industry configuration screen. And since I'm right next to these tracks, we can click on search using the closest track, which brings up Brown's Logger Company. This is how it comes inside the DLC when you purchase it. Does it need to state Brown Logger Company? No, it doesn't. I can turn this into the Lazy Farmer Logger Company. It's a beer maker. I like beer. So, and the local freight number, this is something that can be changed. The tracks that are assigned, the track code can be changed. All this can be changed. Okay, configure it as you see fit. You know, it's like I said, it's your virtual model railroad. But we're going to leave this alone. For right now, we're just going to leave these alone. And what I want to do is I want to look down the car list here, and what does this particular car take? Well, we have 3 different types of cars that it can take. We have 2 bay covered hoppers and a normal covered hopper. All right, and those are the ones that I'm moving back and forth. And you see YBK50, that is another local that is on the map, and I'm going to show you this in just a minute. And then CON is the 3-digit, the 3-letter tag for the industry that is on that local's route. So when these cars, okay, basically they're asking for, when it says here empties, produces empties, which means it once loads. So 2 big covered hoppers or the regular covered hoppers are going to bring grains to this particular industry. Then this industry is going to take those loaded hoppers, empty the grains, making them empty hoppers, and then going to retag them with the YBK50 space con to send those back to that industry con, which is consolidated grains. So these cars go from this local, which up here, local freight symbol is the Y, SBD for San Bernardino, and 3021. Okay, that's the local that this industry is on. So when it gets to con, they're going to con is going to fill them up, or consolidated grains is going to fill the cars, retag them for this local, this industry, Y SBD 3021 space BLC, and then from there, that local is going to take them, bring them to a yard. The yard is going to switch them out to build another local to this local number, and the cycle continues. So this is really what I wanted to get to, is how did I do this? What happens when I do this? So, because I want cars moving within the map, not just trains moving onto the map, maybe getting some cars for some locals, and then bringing those locals back to whether it's West Colton or San Bernardino or whatever, or Barstow, have those cars switched out, put into another train that goes off map. Are we going to have those? Yes, we are. Okay, I want cars going off the map. In a virtual model railroad, those cars would go into a holding track somewhere under, actually I haven't said virtual model railroad, say a real railroad, those trains would go into a holding area that is off-site. You pretend that that train has gone somewhere that you're not modeling. That's what we're doing here as well too. Those engines and those trains will go off map, and they'll go off to Chicago or wherever. Now there is the potential that you can maybe recreate those trains if you have, say, the CSX down in, which is Waycross and the A line. So maybe you can have a train come into the rice yard, and then you sort it out and go to locals out there. And the case in point might even be like these refrigerated cars, which are still sitting here waiting to be loaded. We'll get into that in just a moment. But these cars, if you want to, you could actually tag these cars for rice yard, and then go into that subdivision, which doesn't connect, but then you can go into that subdivision and create a train to simulate those cars coming onto that subdivision. However you want to do this. Okay, right now we're focusing on Southern California, so let's focus on this. So we're sitting here at BLC, which was, I think, Brown's Lager, I think is what it was. Yeah, Brown's Lager Company. Okay. We have our cars set. So 2 big covered hoppers are going to come in. They're going to come in loaded. We're going to empty them. We have a capacity for 3 cars, and it will take 24 real hours. I say that, 24 true real hours. And that means that, now we'll look at that in just a moment. Well, actually, let's look at it now. So we're going to go in here. If we go date and time, right now is the 24th. So if we click on it, go system time, boom, we see that these cars have changed. It took 24 system hours. I updated. Last time I was in the game was November 24th. It is now the 26th of November. And so I have 3 cars that have been changed, and these cars are ready to move out and go back to a yard, which will end up going to West Colton. That's what the WCL is, West Colton, and then go Long Beach. So actually, this car is going to go to Long Beach. These 2 cars will go to West Colton, and they'll go into a train to be made up to go to Phoenix. So eventually, these cars will then move from West Colton Yard, which is Union Pacific, over to Barstow, which is Burlington Northern, and a train would be made up out of Barstow to go off to through Arizona, through Seligman, all the way out to Phoenix. So that's how that would work. And that if you have all the DLCs, if you just have the main one, then pretty much you can still do this in the main main game, base game that you get. I should say not main game, but base game. You can still do this, but I'm just showing you what I have since I've got everything, and it's worth it. I mean, getting all the DLCs is worth it. So that's what happens when cars sit, and it is true. Like I said, it's true hours. So today being the 26th, if we were to retag these cars and set them up as empty, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a moment. Tag these cars, set them up as empties, leave them here for another 24 hours. They'll get retagged again. So left control I, we bring it up. So we see that the refrigerator cars, these are the tags that we got. We got West Colton, Long Beach, Phoenix, or we could have ended up with West Colton, RV is Roseville. Now in Run 8, we do have a Roseville subdivision. So honestly, that could be a refrigerated car that comes into the Roseville yard from Union Pacific, because Roseville is a Union Pacific yard. So it could be a train that comes into the Roseville yard, stops, and then that train would get pushed over the hump, and those cars that were going into Roseville might go to a different industry up on Roseville, and that would be some manipulation. I'm trying to think about what I want to say here. Some manipulation of the cars, but we can. It's still something that can still be done. So, all right. Anyway, focusing on here in the Southern California area without manually, not focusing on any other DLCs and how that happens. So we can get the refrigerator cars, 3 cars, 24-hour turnaround time. We can set this to 48. You can set it for 30. Heck, we could have done 25 hours. I mean, it doesn't matter, okay? And, of course, it produces loads, which means that what it wants is it wants empty cars. So, and everything else that's left alone here. All right, well, there's another thing we can do. What if we added, say we can get rid of some of this. Let's manipulate this one. Say I don't want to go to West Colton, Long Beach. I want this to go completely off the map somewhere. So let's go ahead and we're going to remove that. Okay. So now that's no longer, I'm removing it and saving. That's no longer an option. So West Colton, Long Beach is no longer an option at all. Phoenix, perfect option. Okay. But say let's go, and all cars are going to go to Phoenix. Okay, that's all we did. We took out the West Colton, Roseville. Okay, now all those cars are just going to go to Phoenix. We want to add something, so what you're going to do is you're just going to put in a comma. It's a delimiter. Comma, just put in comma, and then no space, no nothing else. Let's add, let's say I want to go to another industry, as a matter of fact. We're going to do a little bit of research, and this might be a little pen and paper, something we're going to do. But I want to do is I want to look at, we're going to leave this as it is. Let's look at the cars here. I'm going to go to the tagger, and on that particular refrigerated car, industry tags on. We're going to go none, and let's take a look and see who wants what. Well, somebody wants loaded cars. Okay, so we have RCal 04041. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you right now, RCal, that's Burlington Northern. Perfect. I want this to go to, from the Union Pacific, switch over to Burlington Northern. And then the industry tag is COF. So and it wants loaded cars. So what we're going to do is we're going to go I'm going to write this down here, RCal 0041 COF. All right, so okay, we're going to do this one, COF. I'm just going to click on that, and so now I just added that. And we can look at, if we close this, we can look at the tag, and now we have that tag on there. All right, so I'm going to do Control I, add that as an option, So right after the Phoenix, like I said, it's going to be R-cal, R-cal. Everything is, oh, see, everything is uppercase, R-cal 0041 COF. And yeah, and this one I wish they would fix. It is a bit distracting as you're typing and you see things move. Okay, so it's a bit distracting. That would be something that if I'm typing in here, it shouldn't affect the view screen. That's just my opinion, but so please ignore that. So anyway, so now the options are Phoenix or this particular industry. So what we can do, let's save that. I'm going to add that to it. So let's go to COF, see if we can find COF. COF, ConAgra Foods, there it is. And it does. It produces empties, so which means it once loads. It has room for 2 cars and a 24-hour turnaround, and then it goes BAK to Bakersfield. These tags here, I kind of personally have a problem with because we do have the Bakersfield subdivision. My thing here is, once this is done, once it gets to Bakersfield, where does it go from there? Retag it. Okay, you want to retag it. Well, what we're going to do then is we're going to go back and we're going to send the cars back to this particular industry, and we're just going to do the same thing. Just go in here, ConAgra Foods, refrigerated cars. We're going to go to this particular local is SBD 3021 BLC. Okay, so now these cars will, I'm going to save it. So we'll take cars coming in, empty them, send them back. So now we got cars rotating around. All right, so now I've got hoppers that are rotating around. I got refrigerated cars that are rotating around. Truth is, we can have any number. I can have cars sitting in the yard. And there is a small little yard right here. I can have cars sitting in the yard and have a little local switcher just switching these out. Here you go. Here's your next 6 cars. Empty them the next day. Pull them out, put another 6 in, and just that you can have a little. You know what? I'm gonna switch the logger company, and that could be something that you want to do in your virtual model railroad. Spend a couple of hours doing it. Drive along, whatever you want to do. So this is industry configuration. Make sure I save that. All right. Let's take a look, though. But I want to do one more step. ConAgra Foods. I want to transport to there because I want to take a look at what the industry looks like and where ConAgra Foods is and how much it can actually hold. All right, so we have ConAgra Foods, COF. We're right on the track. And once again, control F12. Not control F12. What am I doing? Whoops. Sorry, guys. It's confused. Transport. There we go. ConAgra Foods. All right, and then I'm going to shift F12 is what I was trying to do so I can get into fly mode. And I want to take a look at, and be careful when you do this because you can tag tracks that you don't want to have tagged. But I'm looking at the little orange dots that you see right there. Let me bring them up. You can see them better probably this way if I do the edit track. Yeah, see if I do edit track and you got the dots right there. All right, that's what I'm saying. Be careful because if you try to edit track, I could add another whole string of cars. You can see that. I can bring them all the way out to there. But I think that if we have 6 cars, I got room. I honestly think I have room for 6 because it goes from here all the way up to here. I believe I have room for at least 6 refrigerated cars. Easily 6 refrigerated cars. So with that being said, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add at least 6. Capacity is 6 cars. And those cars, now I can have all 6 of those cars all go back to BLC if I needed to. All right, but maybe I want to send them somewhere else. So, and then you just repeat the process. I'm going to save what work I've done here. But let's say we want to go, like I said, send them somewhere else. Where do you want to send them? You know what? I think I want to look at the industry tag again. Let's take a look. Let's just pick an industry here. There was... All right, how about Dark Container Company? All right, here's an locale, different local, and it does piggyback flat cars. Let's take a look at that industry. Dark Container Company, piggyback flat cars. Interesting. I'm not sure I would do this. This is okay. I like this. Let's go back into fly mode. First of all, I have orange dots right up here to where my cursor's at. We're in West. This is West Corona. You can see that right there. I could probably take about 5 cars. Okay. And granted, yeah, this is, you've got trailers sitting here, but to me, I don't see, if I'm bringing in piggyback flat cars, there's really nothing here that can pick up these trailers. This is how I'm looking at it. Okay, pick up these trailers and put them on the piggyback flat car. That's not going to be done here. So I really don't want this. I'm going to change this. Now, Dark Container Company, you know what? They need the Brown Lager Company. When you make, obviously you have, if you're making beer, you got kegs. Think about the process. You got kegs. And you're going to have boxes. Cardboard boxes. Obviously you got the 12-pack refrigerator packs. You got, so the thin cardboard boxes that you would box beer. Or how about in actual cases, for bottles, the thicker cardboard boxes. So Dark Container Company, this company now makes cardboard boxes. And when they go to make cardboard boxes, what do they need? Well, they're going to need basically probably just box cars, I'm thinking. I don't know. Sorry, guys. Oh boy, that can hit me hard. Okay, so go back in, left control I. So piggyback flat cars, you know what? I'm not feeling it. So, but I do think that it is feasible. Okay, they got gondolas. They make empties. Let's think about that for just a minute. And then boxcars. Perfect. They make empties. I'm going to reverse that. They're going to produce loads. Okay. We're going to have room for at least 3 boxcars in here. And it's going to go back to, one of these is some of these cars are going to go to Y SBD 3021 BLC, Brown Lager Company. All right. I'm going to put a little comma behind that. And 60 hours, maybe. I could see that. 3 cars there. Gondola. This is the one I was coming back to this one because if it's a paper company and it produces, if it's producing cardboard boxes, I was thinking about the process. Where does that come from? Paper comes from wood pulp. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Gondolas, wood pulp. They process the wood pulp into cardboard boxes, load up. I can go with that. You know what? I think I can go with that. I'll leave that. And those gondolas come in from, they're coming in from off map. This is Belen or Fort Worth. So, and they're going to bring in at least 3, because like I said, I got room. So 3 full gondolas, 60-hour turnaround time. Boxcars, 3 boxcars of paper products going out to, to wherever. And if we have another industry that needs cardboard boxes, we can add it right after the comma. And they're going to produce loaded boxcars. I'm going to leave that. Everything else is off. Okay. We'll take this down to 1. It'd be nice if I can go in here and actually just click right in here and type in, but no, can't do that. All right, take it down to 1. So we're not going to use that. We're just going to take gondolas and boxcars, and that is how we route cars from an industry. Well, we still have to do one more thing. We have boxcars coming into our logger company. We need boxcars going out, and we may have to make room, and have to make room for it as well too. So, but let's go back. Let's save the work we've done. All right, we're going to go back to our Brown logger company, transport. All right. Can I squeeze more cars in? I might be able to. Let's take a look. Moving around. Let's see. I go right up to the switch. So not including the locomotives, which the locomotives would be hanging out here. And this is all the way back to the bumper. I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I might be able to get 3 boxcars in there. And then I'm looking at this distance here too, because eventually we have to pull these cars out, pull them into here, have the engines do a run around, shove back into here, go out this track, and once they go out that track, they're going to head off that way to San Bernardino. So that's a way for the engines to get from the tail, which would become the tail end of the train, and instead of pushing the cars into San Bernardino, they're going to pull them. So do I have room? Make sure I have room. It might also be this industry here. I mean, I haven't done anything with this one yet, but it might also be you might have to pull some cars in here, drop them off, engine run around, go back, grab the rest, pull them in here, shove cars back again. So it gives us a little room. So do I want to? I want to make sure that I have room to maneuver. I don't want to put myself in too much of a bind. If I get rid of the 3-bay hopper, make it a 2-bay hopper, yeah, I might have a little extra room. This particular reefer, maybe go back down and, get something about more of this size, give us a little more room. That's a high capacity reefer. But I can easily get 3 boxcars in here. So, all right, we'll do it. So we're going to go find boxcars right here, boxcars. And these boxcars, same thing. We're going to send them back. And then COF. There we go. So that. Oh. Alright guys, I had to get back into fly mode, and we're not going to send them to coffee. Ooh, coffee sounds good. Alright, so what's the turnaround time? Well, we have capacity. Oh, this covered hopper. Oh yeah, that's the 3-bay covered hopper. So our turnaround time is going to be the 24 hours. We're going to match it up. It really doesn't take long to unload a boxcar. Because you just pull them. If you think of the process, you're just going to pull the pallets of cardboard boxes that are broken down. They haven't been assembled yet. They're broken down on pallets. You're just going to pull them off and put them inside your warehouse there, assuming this warehouse has the capacity for it. Capacity for the cars will be 3 boxcars. And the capacity for 3, that one down there. Okay, so we got some change to make, and then it's going to produce empties. So it's asking for loads. And we're going to save. So this really is what it comes down to. This is my process for, like I said, making cars go from one industry to another industry and then back again. So you have cars moving from local to yard to local, or local to local, whatever you want to do. It's your virtual model railroad, but keeping cars on the track. And then, of course, with the box cars, I got the, obviously, going back, I said the reefer cars. Maybe I'll look at some destinations. I got Phoenix as a destination. I can do, FTW for Fort Worth, RV for Roseville. Okay, in that case, that would be WCL space RV West Colton. That's what WCL is the West Colton yard, and then be switched out for a RV as Roseville, so it'd be a train going to Roseville. So that's the potential. Have fun with it. It is your virtual model railroad. Do what you want. Play around with it. Obviously, save your game. You're going to see it down here. I'm going to go right into load save here. F1 world. I have it set right there as the Lazy Farmer. I've saved everything that I've just done, so when I come back in the world and load this world up, I can pick up right where I left off. But that is pretty much it. I mean, can manipulate. If we look at the industries, like DWP down here, that could just be a warehouse. Moving company, change the name. That could be a moving company. That could be a moving van. They're going to come down here. They're loading. They're going to load it on a boxcar and send that boxcar because they got a customer going to New York. I don't know. Whatever your imagination can play with, can come up with, do it and just have fun. So I hope that this particular video will help you guys. It's just something that I wanted to come up with on how, like I said, on what I do and how I work my virtual model railroad. So thanks for watching. If you like the content, please click the subscribe, the like and subscribe. That helps me, and we all know that. We hear that everybody say that. And if you want to find me, I do stream on Twitch as well too. Not only Run 8, which I haven't done in a while, so I should do some Run 8 here, but I do stream on Twitch, Run 8, Lord of the Rings Online, Phasmophobia, a variety of different games. So you can follow me on Twitch at The Lazy Farmer as well. So thank you for watching, and have a great day.